little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Brock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Everybody. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for WrestleChat with Vince McMahon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nation Network. Let me fix these volumes. There we go. I was doing some voiceover work earlier, and I forgot to reset my settings. Shout-outs to everybody in the chat already. Andrew Roberts getting a quick start there. Miracles in the house, and, of course, J-Rocks. Hope everybody enjoyed night 1 of WrestleMania. It was better than I expected it to be. Right out the gate, I'll say that. If you didn't watch it, it's not the end of the world either. I only watched it because I ended up getting a free subscription for Hulu for a month, which I will cancel after today to guarantee that I don't get charged for any of that shit. But I figured with Hulu you can get the ESPNs and stuff, and I don't have to worry about using sideload applications that are sketchy a lot of times, where they tend to glitch in and out and all that kind of crap. So watched it. Had it going on one screen while I was gaming on the other screen, and then I kind of popped over. But I'll say this, I was popping over a little bit more than I thought I was going to be. So good stuff last night. A lot of it was good. A lot of it did better than I would have anticipated. I'd be curious to know what everyone out there thought of night 1 overall. If I was giving the entire night a grade, if we're going on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it was probably about a 7. It was probably about a 7. Oh, and by the way, just to refer back to yesterday for a moment. Now, my prediction for tonight is Cody retains the title, and Pat McAfee inadvertently costs Randy Orton the title. And then Randy gives us the WrestleMania moment we really want and RKO's Pat McAfee after the match, setting up another opportunity to do more of the same at Backlash. Damn, did I call that shit or what? So apparently Triple H is watching the program. Welcome, Hunter. Glad to have you here. WrestleMania was something. I just don't know what that something was. Let me get my effects up here. Boy, I'll tell you, I'm dragging today. There we go. What is that wacky sound effect I'm hearing? I don't know if it's coming through to you guys or not, but yeah, it's definitely there. What in the blue hell? Let me try something. No, it's in the board. Maybe. But it's only on that channel. Huh. All right, well, we'll use it sporadically, so it'll be all right. Yeah, I mean, we can run down the list real quick here. Let me pull it. Yeah, let's see, ESPN, Bleacher Report. I always like Bleacher Report. All right, so they started out with the six-man tag team match. Very predictable. LA Knight gets the win. I was also pretty sure that IShowSpeed was not going to stay heel, and that, of course, worked out the way it worked out because after the match was over, we've got, what's his dick over there? Logan attacking him because he cost them the match. And then LA Knight and the Usos come back down, beat the crap out of Logan, put him on the table so that IShowSpeed can nail him with what was a beautifully done moonsault and crush that table. Like official crush that table. So that was a good little moment there. And now you got the setup for Backlash where you'll have your two influencers going head-to-head in what could be a decent match. So that was as good a match as it's going to get for what it is, period. But I thought, I'm glad LA Knight actually got the pinfall at least since you're completely screwed. People complaining about the fact that it's the same old, and the same five guys in the main event. And here's the guy that's been over for the whole fucking year, and they just don't want to listen to the fans. So, no big surprise there. What else did we have? Oh, they gave it a D. Oh, jeez. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, gosh dang it. I would have given it a C. Maybe even a C+. I didn't think it was that bad. The spots were all good. There wasn't any major botching going on or anything like that. Then we move on to the Jacob Fatu Drew McIntyre match. I got to tell you, I was surprised that I liked this match as much as I did. These guys went to town, man, and the smoothness of the stuff that they did, and again, not a missed spot to be had. Yeah, the Fatu hit the mighty moonsault for a near fall as Michael Cole questioned if this was the first time anyone had kicked out of it. And they went back and forth. I mean, McIntyre with the claymores and the false finishes were there, which you expect that's going to happen, especially at Mania. And Fatu got the win. I wasn't shocked by that. I kind of figured he would, and I think that's my pick from yesterday. I don't recall. Pretty sure the game picked Drew McIntyre yesterday. They gave it a B+. I'm going to stick with that as well. I thought that was a really good match. Heavy hitting. Both guys did a great job. And then we start moving on. The women's tag team titles. Oh, my God. What a mess. You got the Irresistible Forces, the defending champions against Flair and Bliss, which was my pick. Well, yes and no. We'll get to that. Flair and Bliss, they were my pick in that I wanted them to win. Okay, Bayley and Lyra, and then you had Brie and Paige. Now, of course, in my simulation yesterday, I took Brie and Paige out of the mix due to the injury, and I ended up replacing them with a Kabuki Warriors team. So essentially, and they ended up winning in 2K, and that was kind of my pick in 2K. So that being said, essentially the fill-in team won in both cases. So we all knew it was going to be Paige, and this is the thing that just absolutely makes me crazy. Why would you blab about this shit days beforehand? Why would this not have been in some meeting in corporate, or nowadays, hell, you could do it by phone. You can text documents back and forth, and then she can sign them the minute she gets there under a cloak and a hood and a blacked-out sedan that nobody can see inside of. Hell, bring the paperwork into the limo and have her sign it there. It should. That would have been so much better. Imagine playing the same scene. The Bellas come out. You got Nikki on the crutch. I'm really sorry, guys. I tried to make it back in time. And then we're all always thinking, okay, she's faking it, man. She's going to use the crutch to gain an advantage, and she's fine, just like Seth has done and things like that. So in your mind, you're not even convinced that she's necessarily injured. But I did have to call in a favor, and I got a friend to come back in, and as soon as that music hit, that place would have exploded. And she got a good pop, don't get me wrong. But I'm telling you what, not the one she would have had. if they would have just shut the fuck up. There was no reason to give that away days in advance. It was so stupid. I just don't get it. And I also wouldn't have done it this way. Again, I showed yesterday how I would have booked that whole scenario out. I would have got Asuka. The fact that you did not have Asuka, Kairi, and Io even shown yesterday, unless they do something today. But I would have had at least 2 of those 3 in that match, one way or another, and I'd have had all 3 involved. I'm telling you, if Io and Asuka and Kyrie are not at all there for Mania weekend, fuck off, man. I can't. I just can't. The match itself wasn't good. It was very sloppy. There were a lot of missed spots, which, you got Nia in there, so right there, you're going to have some of that. They gave it a C+. I'd probably go C-. It was my least favorite match of the night. And then the winners, if you don't know by now, I'm sure you do, was Nikki Bella along with the returning Paige. Paige was visibly emotional, and you can imagine she would be. And she made it clear that this is her home. Sorry, Tony. And all the AEW people are freaking out now because, whatever. I'll say this. There seems to be some sort of eating disorder going on in the WWE because Paige is looking unhealthily skinny. I mean, she's never a big girl in any way, shape, or form. But, I mean, from the waist down, she looks malnourished. It's like, I don't know. I mean, we know, and I'm not saying to make fun. I'm concerned because we know social media can be a nasty thing, and these girls get all kinds of stuff said about them all the damn time. And apparently that might have something to do with what's going on with Rhea because she's admitted to having an eating disorder that she's dealing with. And she did not look good. She did not look healthy at all. All right, we move along. AJ Lee, the champion, the Intercontinental Champion, going up against Becky Lynch. And all things considered, that was the best match they've had. That was a good match. Wasn't a great match, but it was a good match. Fucked up ending. Not a big surprise about that. But at the end of the day, Becky walks away with the Intercontinental Championship once again. Yeah. They gave it a B-. I'd probably just say, yeah, B- is fine. I agree. It was their best match, which is unfortunate. They should have had better. One of the other things I'm hearing everywhere I read last night is people talking about the lack of time all the matches got. More time does not a better match make. It can, but it doesn't necessarily. And with these two, let's get this shit to the end as fast as we can based on performance. Now, that's on yourselves. If you got WrestleMania and got 8-minute time slot, you earned that. Because you guys have not lit the world on fire. You have not got the crowd. I mean, the popular opinion on the internet, and you can say what you want about the IWC, but we are the ones that are buying the tickets, those of us that can actually afford them, which ain't me right now. But that said, yeah, you better listen to us because you didn't sell a lot of tickets, and we're going to get to that as well. So anyway, you earned that time. Most of the matches were on the slightly short side, and you had to do it that way because otherwise you wouldn't get all the advertisements in. Okay? If we didn't have shorter matches, we wouldn't have been able to see the drumstick logo and the mascot there in the stands with all the kids, and we wouldn't have been able to see the general in the audience in his little costumey thing. And, yeah, we would have missed out on all those advertisements if we had matches going longer. So let's get our priorities straight. This is not about wrestling. It is about advertising, and you know that. You can't tell me you don't know that. So stop complaining about short matches. You have to have commercials. And commercials you will have. They stepped to a new level, by the way, of low. They now put advertisements on the fucking turnbuckles. And it's not even the fact that they're doing it. It looked terrible. It was an eyesore. It drew focus. Immediately I saw this. I was like, what in the fuck are they advertising on the turnbuckles? And it's only on the top and the bottom one. The middle one still has a WWE thing, which really makes it all look like shit. It was Capital One with a rectangular logo and the Capital One logo in the inside. If you would have took away this bluish border square bullshit and just put the white Capital One the way you do the white WWE on a black turnbuckle pad, it would have been all right. Whatever. But it's so glaringly different. And it's not even uniform in the sense that it's, not all three turnbuckle pads. Why don't you just get to the point where you put one on the top, a different company in the middle, and a different company on the bottom one? I mean, you whores at this point in time. That's all you are, is a bunch of corporate whores. And it looked like total dog shit. Seth Rollins up against Gunther. This was the match everybody thought was going to steal the night, and it did really well. It did really well. Physical, knew it was going to be. Back and forth, knew it was going to be. Hard hitting, for sure. And they delivered on that. Bleacher Report gives it a B. I would. So we had the great finish where Braun Breaker gets his WrestleMania moment, which is kind of unfortunate that he was able to go at Mania and they just didn't have enough time to get him back on the card. But at least he had the moment. We hadn't heard from him, hadn't seen from him, and I don't think any of us really expected to see him last night or tonight for that matter. And from out of nowhere, he just comes running down and he spears Seth Rollins and sets up Gunther for the win. The Seth Rollins-Gunther thing was great back and forth stuff because Seth got caught in the sleeper hold, but then he also put the sleeper hold on Gunther, which that was a nice little twist. So that was a good match. It was a really good match back and forth. Gunther got stomped into that table. Holy shit, that head stomp was brutal. And the sound effect was brutal. Good match. Actually, I might say B+. I might go a little higher than them. I liked that match a lot. I thought they did a great job. We move along. The World Women's Championship. Stephanie Vakir. Boo. Where are my sound effects here? There we go. Going up against Liv Morgan. Y'all hearing that little garbly sound effect? What the hell is that from? I feel like... Nope, that's not it. I was thinking maybe it's the Elgato doing it. I feel like something must be... like a loose wire or something. All right, well, we'll turn that down for now. Never did it before. The entrance of the night for me was Liv. Liv did her music video live. The dance, the same choreography, same dancers. She came out with this nice little suit on, and then all the girls grab a hold of it and tear it off of her. I kind of like that part, too. I'm not going to lie. Fantasy fulfilled. And she did that whole shtick all the way down the ramp. I think she did it the whole night long because even in the post, she was doing it there and she was teaching Corey how to do that little twerky thing she does. And that was some funny shit if you didn't see it. She just deserves it. And, yeah, you look at her and she's beat up from that noggin knocker. Still had the raccoon eyes going on and still had a hell of a little blemish going on the forehead from the impact there. Didn't give the receipt that I was really hoping to see last night. I really wanted to see her. Oops, Steph. Sorry. Valkyrie has a different style of wrestling, I think, because of the Mexican heritage. There is just a different style that they do there where they do tend to still kayfabe shit. Almost like they didn't get the memo, like they're stuck in time. And the way she hit Liv from behind to cause that injury was so unprofessional. You don't... The girl's 12 inches apart from her partner in Roxanne, and you hit her full force, shoving her head first. She had no way to protect herself, and she trusted you. So I don't even like her anymore. She's in the Nia category. They got Nia, Jade, and now Valkyrie. Those three women, I just don't want to see them. Don't want to see them. Don't want to hear them. Don't respect them. You're dangerous with other people. And if I was in that locker room, there's no way you're getting me in the ring with them. If I was a female, I'm not getting in the ring with them. I'm probably going to be fired for it, but I'm not getting in the ring with them. At least I'll walk away. So Liv got the upper hand finally. It was a back and forth, and she cuts the Oblivion, and still Stephanie kicks out, and Liv does the whole screaming, I can't believe it thing. And then all of a sudden, here come the Judgment Day members down to the ringside area, and then it looks like for sure we're in good situation here. And she takes advantage one more time and gets down there. Raquel ends up getting involved, and that stuns Vakir. And then all of a sudden you see Liv come out there and hit with the Oblivion and gets 2. And that's when you're like, shit, she ain't going to win it. But as time goes by, she'll end up getting it with the pinfall and become the new women's world champion. They gave it a B. I'm going to give it a B as well. It was a good match. And again, these, other than the women's tag match, these are all good matches. Not great, they're good matches. They're all good. Bianca Belair comes down with this incredibly large, floomy blue robe on. And I'm like, oh, goodness, here we go. She's back. And gets in the ring to say, we got to have surprises at WrestleMania. Takes off the gown to show us that she's pregnant. All right. Congratulations. I don't know that had to be a WrestleMania moment, but okay, whatever. Still waiting for the John Cena thing with Danhausen. That didn't happen yet. So that'll have to be a tonight thing. And then finally, the last match of the night, Randy Orton to go up one-on-one against the undisputed champion, Cody Rhodes. We all know this is going to be the match of the night, except it really wasn't. Now, I'm skipping ahead looking at the Bleacher Report. Wow. I'll tell you they're great in a minute. I got my own notes sort of here because I was texting Jay, who refused to watch it. Hold on while I pull up my text line here. Where are we at here? And then we're going to cover something else, and then we'll move along. So when the match starts, we see the intros coming out, and of course, dumb fuck Pat McAfee is there, and I'm already like, I'm just about done with this. And then as they're doing the the intros, he takes the microphone away from Alicia, and he starts cutting a promo to introduce Randy, and it's just like, I'm already over him. I'm already sick of this motherfucker being here. All right, here we go. So anyway, we're going back and forth here. Randy and Cody are exchanging each other's finishers. So seeing Cody hit the RKO and then seeing Randy hit the Crossroads, crowd was popping for all that, okay? The crowd was into this stuff. There's a point in time where we finally get McAfee the fuck out of there. Actually, that happened early in the match, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Let me refresh my memories. I'm already drawing a blank on when they got him out of it. I feel like they got him out of there very early in the match. Anyway, he went away in a stretcher, and I knew it. That ain't the last you're going to see of him. And sure as hell, late in the match, he shows up wearing a referee shirt. Now, the referee accidentally gets RKO'd because Randy got thumbed in the eye and lost track of who he was RKOing. And then jogging on down to the ring with a neck brace on and a referee shirt on, suddenly Pat McAfee's a referee. Gets into the ring. Randy goes for the cover, gets a 1, gets a 2. Cody kicks out. Now, if you're there to screw the guy over, wouldn't you just do the 3 count anyway? I mean, wouldn't you? I would think you would. But he doesn't. Randy comes up and he RKO's him. But that little delay and that draw of his focus sets up Cody for the Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody retains. We get to see McAfee get RKO'd, which was obviously something I think everybody wanted to see. And then we think we're about to see the forgive and forget between Cody and Randy. Only you didn't get that. Instead, what happened was you got a punt kick, which we haven't seen one of those in a long time, and it's legit. He connected. I don't think he meant to, but he did. Closed his eye, man. Cody Rhodes' left eye, I think it was the left eye if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, is swollen shut. Looks like shit. He got dinged. And he also got caught with the belt in the head. And Cody's hair, you know, he's got bright white hair, except for last night. It was red. You could not find too much white there. He bled last night. So their feud is not necessarily done, but the good news is Randy lost, and it's good for one main reason. That means, hopefully, no more Pat McAfee. He can go on with Ari Amani, and he can go be the next Sylvester Stallone like he thinks his client's going to be. Good luck with that, by the way. Not a very likable guy in just general. He's very... I don't know what it is about him. I've never liked him, but when they put him in the broadcast booth originally, it was in a newer voice, and he had a certain level of energy to him that wasn't bad, but then he started dancing on top of the tables and shit, and that's when I was like, no, fuck this. Fuck this fool. Get him out of here. All right, so that's the night one stuff. Let me get back here to the other screen and see where we're all at here in the chat. Yeah, I mean, again, for the girls not to be there, you mentioned it right there. 3 of the Damage Control, and Io was a main eventer last year, and Io's a fucking star, man. Every match, she just has good matches. And if no other reason, almost died on TV 2 weeks ago. Gosh damn it, man. Reward this girl. Please, radio in the house. How you doing, sir? I didn't mean to bombard you with all those images yesterday, but I was just thinking, if somebody else can get those up online, I've got one account where I can get images downloaded. I just can't upload them. And then I have another account where I can upload images, but only for me to get them myself. I can't put them on Community Creations. So if you have a moment to do that, I would appreciate it greatly. And if you don't, that's cool too. I understand. Pat McAfee saves the business by being gone. Hopefully this is going to be like a long time before we ever... I mean, you know, sooner or later he'll be back to do broadcasting or something there, but hopefully it's not for like 5 years. Maybe by then we might miss you. We can't miss you if you don't leave. That's the way I look at it. Oh, I appreciate you, buddy. Seriously. That Boston one, I don't need that because I actually found someone who did an arena and used pretty much the same images, pretty close, and that's fine. But if I can get all those other ones so I can get my arenas back, because then I can keep my fly-in videos that I made. I was just talking to Jay about that earlier. I did all those little fly-ins for the beginning of the shows, and it's like, well, shit. I kind of did that late in the life cycle of 2K25, and now if I'm switching over to this, those arenas won't match. Yeah, I didn't know about the wife situation, the NFL draft this weekend. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? Whatever keeps them away from wrestling, I am all about that. Allergies are kicking in today. All right, so what do y'all think of night one, though? I'm the only one talking about night one so far. I'm a little surprised about that. I love you. I appreciate you. Nah, God bless you too, brother. All right, well, we are going to do our predictions here as well for night two with the help of Miracle Says It Was Okay. You know what I need to do today? I meant to do it yesterday. I get some polling going on up here. see. Oh, and I was starting to tell you that the Bleacher Report gave that main event a D. I thought I'm pretty hard on these guys.
That's what she said.
But I thought a D was kind of rough, man. I'd say a C plus overall. The match, the only thing that hurt the match was Pat. And you had to bring him back out just to fuck. You did the right thing by taking him out early so that it would be a one-on-one. And then you brought him back out. It's like, what are you really trying to accomplish here? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Yeah, and Blaze, I talked about that a little earlier on. We're all happy to see her back, I think. I am. You are. Why did you tell us she's coming back? It's Mania. Just have the Bellas come out on stage, one with a crutch, and at that point, we're still not sure we believe it because of all the fake shit they've done with that kind of stuff. And then they do the little parting of the Red Seas thing that they did and say we made a phone call and called in a friend, and then all of a sudden that music hits. This place would have exploded. And she got a good pop and a good reaction, but not the one she would have had if no one knew. I just don't get why they did that. They ruined it. Cody, or I just mentioned, that punt didn't miss. It closed his left eye. I mean, he looks like he was in a fight. And there's a lot of rumor that Randy is legitimately not well. You know, he's had the back issues before, and the way he was wrestling, I gotta admit, now you don't know, is he selling because they're playing up the back story, or it didn't look like a regular Randy match. To me, I'm kind of thinking maybe the injury thing is legit. That's why they kept the belt on Cody. But then he went and did all that stuff after the match was over, which doesn't seem like what you would do if the guy's going away to get healed. I'm still kind of, up in the air as to whether there's a legit back injury for Randy Orton at this point. But we will find out soon enough. Yeah, they might want an ESPN face there, and you can have an ESPN face there. It's called the broadcast table. Matter of fact, I saw Stephen A. Smith in the crowd. So you can do that. The reason you would want that there is, I guess, for what? Ratings, right? Well, what hurt the ratings? Pat McAfee. The fans didn't want it, didn't want to see it. Hell, Bleacher Report gave him a D. Again, I think that was a little harsh. Man, if I can learn how to spell, I'd be in real good shape right now. All right, here's our first poll of the evening. Oh, he is the worst. I'm just saying they had a face from ESPN on screen is all I'm saying. There are times, look, when he says stuff that I agree with, I'm all in on him. When he says stuff I don't, I'm all out on him. There's never been a middle way with him. I mean, I like the outspoken. I like the brash. But sometimes he's very brash about shit that he clearly doesn't know a damn thing about and hasn't done any homework on. And the idea that people are touting and he's even tweaking about a little that maybe running for president. No. No, sorry, sir. You know, no, Mr. White House for you. Sorry, Superman is no home. Well, I can tell you this much right now. They didn't bring it in. Let's talk about the number system. They drew just over 50,000 people, and that's lying, all right? They're not telling you the fact that a lot of those were free tickets that they gave away at the end. So it's not paid. And I have yet to hear what the revenue was, the tickets sales were for night one. But let's go with what we know, attendance, 50,000, down from 61 a year earlier. So you lost 11,000 seats in 1 year. Wonder what that could be attributed to. That's why I want to hear what the revenue was. I hope to God that revenue is way down. I know they're charging more, so that's going to be a trick. But even if it's a break-even dollar amount, it's a loss because you had 11,000 seats you couldn't sell. You could have sold them, but you greedy motherfuckers. And I get all companies, realistically, in my opinion, are greedy. It's business. You're supposed to want to make money. You're supposed to want to get more money. But man, oh man, they are taking it to a whole other level. Absolute whole other level when it comes to TKO. They are just horrible. When you make Disney look not so bad, you're doing something. He may have been a jerk on purpose, but that's not the issue. No, I can tell you for myself and the people I've spoken to, I'm not like booing Pat McAfee because he's a heel. I'm booing him because he doesn't belong, and all you're going to do is fuck up what should have been a much better match, and you did. And by the way, when he came out, he had a solo entrance. 50,000 people, still a lot of people. You did not hear a reaction. Not a big boo reaction, not a cheer reaction. He didn't get either one. So you didn't gain anything by having him there. What the fans should have done, and there's no way you're going to organize 50,000 to do it, is literally just turn your back to him and say nothing. Let that place get dead silent. And then you guarantees we'll never see him again. But yeah, McAfee just, ugh. He jumped the shark. His day has come. His day is gone. The Divas from 2006 to 14 were the worst, except for Mickie James and Naomi. I'd have to look at that lineup to see if I agree with that or not. From 06 to 14, so we're Attitude-ish. A little after Attitude. I'd have to look at the roster to see if I agree with that or not. You may be right. I may be crazy. Ratings, schmatings, those don't matter anymore. How many watch the totally legal? What? How many watch total legally online? Well, if they're smart, a lot of them watch legally because, as I was telling Jay, you can watch it for free on Hulu if you don't already have Hulu by getting a free subscription, which they were offering through this weekend, which is what I did. I got the free subscription first month, and right after tonight's done, I'll cancel it. Watching party stuff like that too. Yeah. Dude, the ratings I'm talking about are the people in the arena with the 11,000 seats that went unsold. That's the ratings I'm talking about. You'll never know the accurate number for how many people watched the event. And yeah, there's a lot of people watching the event, no doubt. How many of those people, by the way, in the viewing parties, whether it's at people's homes or if you're going to some public location, how many of them, the minute a match ends, know there's like 15 minutes of commercials and get up and go to the bathroom? They're not watching these commercials. These guys are paying money for shit that nobody gives it. Matter of fact, even on the stream, it'll give you this screen saying commercial break, but you're not seeing a commercial, which I'm okay with. I prefer that. Ruthless aggression to reality error. Again, I'm going to have to look at who was on the roster to see if I can agree with that or not. But you named two that were solid. But wasn't Trish, not Trish, but wasn't Lita in during those years? Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Attendance versus paid attendance. And are they going to, in other words, if they turn around and say, all right, they did, 50,000 attended the event, are they going to tell us how many of those were not paid? I think they kind of have to be in a public company, but at the same time, you can lie. Who's going to know? And they should be tanking. That friggin' money is insane that they were charging. Yeah, the Hogan program. When is it? That's coming out when? April 31st or something like that, I think it is. At the end of the month? Or is it May? I know it had a late date on it. Well, 75%. And we could probably bump that up a little bit because I'd be voting yes that I thought night one did deliver. Again, better than I was expecting out of it. And this is one of the things I was telling Jay. Maybe they're actually geniuses and we're not realizing it. When has there ever been a lesser build-up to a WrestleMania ever? Maybe the year Hogan beat Slaughter and they had to move it from the LA Coliseum to the arena. Maybe that year. But really, this build-up has been absolute shit. So where were the expectations? There were none. By that standard, y'all overperformed. Maybe they got it down right. Maybe they're doing it the right way. And we're the ones that just don't understand that there's a method to the madness. Okay, we're going to jump into the 2K Day 2 now. And we are going to see. Lita was Attitude Era and retired from 06. Oh, there it goes. Again, the years. That's why I'd have to look at a roster and a breakdown of the roster. But for right now, I'm just going to agree with you because you seem to have done a little bit more homework on that. But okay. Again, I've put things in the order that I would have booked them in. So let's kick this one off tonight with the U.S. title matchup.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE United States Championship.
All right, the poll's up. Who you picking tonight? I think the safest bet in the world is Trick Williams for the win. That's who I'm going with. I've got a funny feeling 2K is going to pick Sammy, though. Well, the top of your head has got more knowledge of the roster apparently than mine does right now. I'd have to actually do a little more digging into that. I feel like there's like Molly Holly wasn't in that time frame. Throw some of the other names that would have been falling into that time period, if you would. Oh, Blaze, did you see, I think it was Status that posted the picture of that gingerbread man thing in the ring and said, this is the DLC content we're going to get in the next pass. That'll be the next Persona card for the next season pass. Didn't they already kind of turn Sammy heel? Yeah, I am not a big Sammy fan. I was, but he's kind of gone off the rails for me a little bit. And now I find it hard to even look at him. This is the first time I'm seeing his model in the game this year, and that does look pretty damn impressive. Hair's got good sway to it. Did a good job on his model. Gotta say it. Molly was Attitude. Well, throw me some names that you're saying weren't good during that time frame. And I still don't understand with this game. Here he comes out with the belt, and it's under his jacket, as it would be. No clipping, no problem. Why don't you do that with all of the wrestlers, including the created wrestlers, like you've done in the past? But even then, Hulk Hogan doesn't wear a jacket. He has a T-shirt that's tucked in, no less. And the one model of Hogan in particular, it clips like a bitch.
Introducing the challenger from Colombia.
Didn't we have a bee?
Weighing in at 250
A beef stick? Yeah. You had the jerky thing. I forget what it was called. He's supposed to have been a mascot from a store or something like that. It was like a beef jerky mascot kind of thing.
and his opponent.
Or it might have been tied into the Slim Jim sponsorship that they did. I forget which. But yeah, they had that for like a year and a half.
United States champion, Sami Zayn.
And that all said, status is probably right. I think the gingerbread thing shows up. Between now and the end of the cycle of this game, I think that's going to be a Persona card that you'll get in the free tier. Look what we're giving you. I know, you keep on giving it to us. Do me a favor. On one of these tier items, can you put some KY jelly in there? Bell saying, holy shit. Welcome to WrestleMania. We are underway with night 2 here at Las Vegas. Hey, here's a thought. Will they dare go 3 years in a row in the same location? Now, we all want to sit here and say they're going to Saudi next year, but that all depends on Iran. And while I kind of think that'll all be put to bed long before a year from now, maybe, maybe not. And they wouldn't be having WrestleMania there this year if they had booked it. So let's assume that they got to make a decision, I would say at least 6 months out, wouldn't you think? And the WWE does kind of have an in-line to the White House, so I can see this now. Triple H on the phone talking to Donald Trump.
Hey, so we got WrestleMania supposed to happen in Saudi Arabia. Was wondering if maybe you could just, like, you know, nuke these guys so we can put an end to this thing.
Well, you know, I was thinking about it, but I guess all things considered, you know, the wrestling fans deserve to have their show, and the Saudis, they're buying oil from us now, so yeah, okay, we'll just go ahead and we'll eviscerate them from the face of the fucking earth.
That's a call that's going to probably happen soon. Action spilled out to the floor here. And Trick Williams mowing him down. Trick needs to stay aware of the referee's count. You cannot win the title on a count out. You'll win the match, but not the title. Here's the back heel kick right to the head of the gingerbread man. And now stretching out the arm of Sami Zayn, stomping away on the hand. If there was even a thought in Sammy's mind of going for a Mr. Sacco, that's gone now. Ribby. Yes, it was Ribby. I would not have remembered that. Trick Williams off the top rope to the floor to stop the count out. That will stop the count out, which had reached 9. And now all action going back into the ring. Trick Williams wants Sammy back up. Can 2K get it right? I don't think so, but let's find out. I wonder what the Vegas odds are on this match. Sami Zayn starting to get back into the swing of things now with that drop kick to the chest. Williams fighting his way out with a series of elbows, and now he's got Sami up in the air. Textbook suplex takes him down. Goes for the cover. There's a 1. There's 2. And that's all you're going to see. So far, 67% of you are picking Trick Williams. My little dog is over here, which usually means she ate all her food and wants her reward. He caught Sami, goes for the cover, hooks a leg, gets 3. 2K got it right. I don't believe it. Well, we've all picked Trick Williams pretty much. 2K has picked Trick Williams. So I say, just let him have the belt when he gets in the ring. We already know he's got the win. There was a close call there, and Sami tried his best, but sometimes your best just isn't good enough. Because here we are right back where we were before. His first championship on the main brand. Trick Williams victorious. We'll be back with our next match in just a moment.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Champ?
Who?
Champ? Is Champ there?
Who is Champ?
That question will be answered this Sunday night. Defends the belt.
Listen,
WWE Super Slam.
Hey, sir.
Taking on
Please quit
Sheamus,
calling my house.
The Undertaker,
Quit calling me.
CM Punk, and even Triple H and The Big Show in a spit-swapping makeout match.
Holy
WWE
hell.
Super
Listen,
Slam.
hello? Hello? Can you stop screaming in your little sirens and whatever that is? Can you knock it off for 5 seconds? Not interested. Stop calling my fucking house.
I don't think she's watching WrestleMania today. I could be wrong, but I don't think she is. By the way, shout out to anyone watching us over on Twitch as well. Once again, we are simulcasting here, YouTube, and on Twitch. If you want to check me out on Twitch, which I'd appreciate, trying to get up to affiliate level there so that we can upload pre-recorded videos. Just go to the description box down below and you'll see the link on how to find the channel over there. We are going to be doing some exclusive content on Twitch. My goal right now is Tuesday or Wednesdays. I'm not sure which. I think Tuesday this week, and it'll be house shows. So whether it's from the NWA Saturday shows or whether it's WWF Saturday shows, there'll be a house show on Tuesdays on Twitch if you want to watch that. Otherwise, everything else is still here or simulcasted. Oh, no. Didn't we already do Trick and Mello in NXT for like a year? I don't want to see that again. Enough of that. Maybe a few years down the road, but not now. Michelle McCool. Oh, Layla, I liked her. I thought she was good. Jillian Hall, I was never a big fan. Kelly, no. Eve, no. Maria wasn't terrible, but she wasn't great. Beth was good. AJ was good. The Bellas were good. Paige was good. So there's more names in there that were good. I knew it couldn't have been that bad. A lot of those names are solid. But yeah, Jillian Hall. But I loved Layla. I don't think they're better than I remember them. I think I remember them pretty accurately. By the way, this is the ladder match for the Intercontinental title, in case I didn't mention it. And here is your defending Intercontinental Champion. I don't know if I can do a poll with that one because there's too many people involved in it. Let me see.
The WWE Intercontinental Champion,
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks like that's the direction they're going to go in. And by the way, you look at this lineup, I'm only going to be able to put 4 names up for the poll. I'm going to put the 4 most likely. There's one name I think we can safely just rule out, which may be this one. Nope, not this one. All right, there's our poll for this one. You got Penta, you got Ray, you got Dragon, and Javon, which takes out Rusev. Talk about one of these things doesn't belong. Rusev, what the hell? And by the way, you will shoehorn Rusev into WrestleMania, but you don't have room for Asuka and Io and Kyrie. Also, to get back onto the Hall of Fame, in case anyone hadn't seen, the son of Psycho Sid, Gunnar Udy, on his Facebook, basically blasted WWE for the level of disrespect they showed his father, and he was 100% right to do it. For all the years that he put into the business, winning world titles in multiple organizations, to be delegated or relegated to a 2-minute video and about 5 seconds on camera. And it's been across the internet. People have been absolutely just trashing them for that. Let's talk about the WWE some more. JD McDonough suffers a horrendous injury on TV on Monday Night Raw how many months ago. Continues the fucking match somehow. Goes away for a while. The fans had so much respect for this guy for what he did. By getting back up, getting back to ringside. He took that, was it a powerbomb? I just remember he struck the back of his head and it was horrible on that new fucking table, which is just unforgiving. And I think he was like knocked off the apron or something. I forget how it happened. I just remember him hitting his head and it looked horrible. And you could tell he was out. You know, he was just not with it. Dragged himself back up to the apron and managed to be a part of the rest of the match. And then was gone for a while. They could have brought this dude back to an ovation if they'd have booked him right. But when he was healthy, they just kind of brought him back out again. Okay, he's back with the Judgment Day now. No! This was the opportunity where you could have done something like put an Intercontinental Championship on him. And gosh damn, they can't get out of their own way. And again, this guy, This is the guy that's going to be in a ladder match with all these high flyers. I don't get it. And all you do is bury him on main event program, which nobody watches. So why is he even at Mania? You have no value to him. You don't see a value in him. You're using him as a job now. It's amazing to me that I'm saying this, but AEW is the only ones that ever figured out how to use him, which is insane. And even they fucked up because, like everything, they get the new shiny toy and they play with it for a little while and then they put it in the box and you never see it again. Ah, 2 in each slot. That's an idea. I'll think about that next time. That's a good idea. I mean, like I said, this guy ain't winning it. He might win it with 2K, but he ain't winning it tonight. So that's a safe out right there. And JD's not going to win it. They're not giving JD an Intercontinental title run. So I feel like, in this case, these are the 4 that are most likely to have a shot at it. And the majority of us are right now saying it's going to be Javon Evans. Bell Sounds action is underway. The Intercontinental title hanging 20 feet above the ring here in Las Vegas, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to be the first one to climb the ladder of success and pull it down? Damn, that was pretty good. I wrote that myself. Already the bodies are flying, and we know that's going to happen tonight. Penta has a 1 in 6 chance of retaining the Intercontinental Championship, and according to Scott Steiner, that means he's got a 0.98% chance of climbing the ladder and a 0.10% chance of actually touching the title and bringing it down, and we'll just have to see what happens. Action inside, action outside the ring, and none of it matters until that ladder is set up. We talk about high-risk maneuvers. This is a high-risk match. There are no disqualifications. Everything's legal. We see the steel chairs are coming out already. Tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh, my. Javon Evans, the chosen one by many. Will this be his night? His first WrestleMania? Will that be the way his career on the main roster starts out? Winning the Intercontinental Championship. There's a stunner. And now Javon Evans and Ray fighting over the ladder. There are no friends in this one. Ooh, that ladder right to the head of Rusev, and he's down. Backbreaker and drops him across the ladder. Welcome to the big time, Javon. Evans has that daredevil style to him. He's had a busy schedule this year between NXT, TNA, and now the main roster. And he's gone up that ladder as we knew he would quickly. He's got his hands on the title. Can he pull it down? The answer is no. Mysterio going to work on Rusev with that steel chair. Rusev was voted least likely in high school to scale a ladder and pull down the Intercontinental Championship. Penta's got Javon down. He should have been putting that ladder up. JD McDonough's into the ring. Gets himself caught. And fights his way out. Yes, that is Steiner math. DiBiase Jr. was there. I mean, I could see him being there for that match because of who was in it and that he was part of that. And he is unrecognizable today. I mean, that's why I was saying if he were to have been a part of that match and run in it, nobody was going to know who it was. It would have been a wasted moment. And Rey Mysterio just got the world knocked out from underneath him as he tried desperately to climb the ladder and see if he couldn't pull down the prize, which is the Intercontinental Championship. Precariously, it dangles there. Three of the favorites battling it out here on the floor. You cannot win this thing on the floor. Meantime, Rey Mysterio being stretched in the ring. JD has got his hands on it. And boy, did he just become very popular. McDonough has got a hand on the championship. He's going to pull it down. Oh, look at this. That was close. JD McDonough almost shocked the world. Von Evans going after the champion on the floor with a steel chair. Again, no friends in this one. Don't take it personal, just take it serious. A nice roundhouse kick, and now Javon once again has the ladder. JD McDonough came outside the ring for a moment, then decided, I'm going back in. Thank you so much, Blaze. I appreciate you, brother. Sling Blade. And Javon Evans doesn't want to take too many more of those. The champion now fighting back, knowing what's on the line. Four men inside the ring. That by Steiner mat alone means two are outside the ring. Ray and Dragon outside the ring. Inside we've got Javon Evans with the ladder. He sets it up. Unfortunately, he waited a little bit too long to go up there. Oh, wait a minute. Intercepted in the meantime. Javon gonna pull it down. He does! 2K is on a roll. I would have been voting for Javon as well, so you can bump that 50% up a little bit to like 55%. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 2K 2 for 2 on what I believe is going to happen tonight, and the majority of us seem to think is going to happen tonight.
Here's your winner, and new WWE Intercontinental
Champions are being crowned, careers are being launched at WrestleMania 42.
What?
The 80s called. They want their store back.
It's time for a new Radio Shack. Come see what's possible when we do things together.
the WWE Women's Championship.
Yeah, those Radio Shack. I'll tell you, I miss going to Radio Shack. I used to love that, man. They had everything you needed, and it was so nice. If you only needed one of something, you didn't have to buy a whole box of them or anything. You could just get one. If you needed like a coupler or something like that, 89 cents. You know, you didn't have to buy a box for $4. If you want to know just how much body mass Rhea Ripley has lost, just watch her standing next to Jade Cargill, because when Jade came in and they had like a little face-off just because they were walking past each other, and then they kind of paused to set the stage that eventually this is going to happen, they were equals. And Rhea was even bigger in the shoulders for sure. And look at them today when they get in the ring. Not necessarily in 2K, but when you watch in Mania. She has dropped an incredible amount of weight, and she doesn't look good. She doesn't look healthy. Jade Cargill, the defending champion. Let me get the poll going here. Let me get the poll up.
That's what she said.
All right, I am going to say Jade gets the win, and Rhea goes away for a little while to deal with her issues, which is what I think is going to happen. I really just think she's going to be taking a break, and probably needs to. Cornette was always right when he said one thing: how can I miss you if you don't leave? And it'd be hard-pressed to think of any female in the history of the business that had the run that she's had for the last 5 years. Originoli's in the house. Welcome, buddy. Haven't talked to you in a bit. Well, I think a big part of the reason why she's lost the aura is because she's lost the physique. And her demeanor just doesn't, unless she's acting, which I don't think she is, she looks tired. The last couple of times I saw her on camera, and granted, they're doing some incredible, you know, the press that they're doing for the show and all that. They're not sleeping well. But she just looks beat down. So I think 2K is going to give this to Rhea. I think Jade keeps it and Rhea goes away for a little while to deal with her issues. And I kind of hope that's what happens. I mean, I don't want to see anything bad happen to her. And we've seen this business suck the life out of a lot of people and then just leave them broken. And then they give them 2 minutes in the Hall of Fame. Stephanie McMahon should be embarrassed by what she did, taking all that time away from the actual talent. For somebody who, you know, they kept on talking, why is she in the Hall of Fame? Oh, she always made us feel like we were listened to, and, you know, she was always that person, and she knew everyone's name that works here, and this and that and the other thing. For somebody who was such a people, or a people person, not at the Hall of Fame she wasn't. Me. And by the way, Linda McMahon, yikes. I mean, we all going to get older. I know it. But she sounded like she's 92. Indeed, it is WrestleMania Night 2 of what should always be a one-night event. Yeah, that was so... you gave more time to a match, which granted is Hogan and Andre. It should have had time. I'm just saying, you had people on stage. You had your little moment to acknowledge that it's going in under WrestleMania moments. And then you have this legacy wing. What is a legacy wing exactly? Either you're in the Hall of Fame or you're not in the Hall of Fame. What's a legacy wing? Even if you had a physical structure for the Hall of Fame, what would the legacy wing be? Like you're not a real Hall of Famer, but you're like honorable mention? I don't know. I'm just wondering. And if that's what it is, then I would have no problem with Bad News Brown being there because, in my opinion, he didn't have a Hall of Fame career on par with the other people who are in the Hall of Fame. Names like Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, Paul Orndorff. You know, those are Hall of Famers. Bad News never had that run in the WWF. Damn, that was quick. Riptide for the win. If this match tonight is better than a C, I'll be shocked. Because I don't think Jade has it in her. And I don't think Rhea's up to it. Physically. Or mentally, possibly. Well, I called it. 2K was going to give it to her. And you all are split 50-50. I am going to go with Jade winning tonight in real life. So it's a 60-40 for Jade tonight. We'll see if we got that right or if 2K got that right. Let's put it this way. If 2K got it right, they're 3 for 3. Hang out. We'll be back with our next matchup here on day 2 of WrestleMania.
Welcome to the Nation Network, your home for all things pro wrestling. From classic video games to the latest releases, we dive deep into wrestling past and present. Step into the ring with Legends Mania, where dream matches come alive as legends clash with today's top stars. Join the conversation on WrestleChat, our podcast breaking down the biggest stories and hottest events in wrestling today.
Leave an island unto my own.
And don't miss the voice of Ultra Pro Wrestling, Vince McShane, right here on the Nation Network. This is the place where wrestling lives, breathes, and never sleeps. Hit subscribe and let's run wild together.
All right, fans, this one, I'm going to call it now, is going to get the Macho Man Ricky Steamboat Award. I think this is going to be the match that people are talking about when it's all said and done for both days. That this will be the Mania match of the year. These two guys have the absolute ability to steal the show tonight, and I think they're going to do it.
The following contest is an Inferno match. Making his way to the ring, representing the Judgment Day from San Diego, California, weighing in.
Originally, one of the things that his son was saying in his post, it's not that they don't get it, it's that they do get it. He's like, maybe a few years from now, when all the people that ran with him that were jealous of him then are still holding him back now are gone, then maybe he'll get his true recognition. Not sure exactly who he's referring to, Hunter, but there's probably some truth to that. I mean, look at Demolition, how long it took them to get in. And why? Because Vince McMahon had a grudge against them. So at the end of the day, it is a popularity contest, not just with the fans. I am looking forward to seeing this entrance on the WrestleMania stage. We haven't seen this in a long time to begin with, but knowing the theatrics and that it's Mania, they're going to pull out all the stops, and this one's going to be a little different, I think. Bigger than before. Bigger, better, faster. If you know what that reference is, it's time to schedule your colonoscopy. Still remember the first time I saw him do this in NXT, and I was like, what the fuck? Came crawling through the smoke. The Demon, Finn Balor's alter ego. I think we're going to have a lot more smoke tonight. Almost forgot the poll. Give me a second. Since there are no titles on the line, I'm going to lean towards the Demon getting the win. By the way, of course, ours is a little bit different because if you were ever going to have an Inferno match come back to the WWE, this would have been a good one. The Demon with the whole aesthetic with the flames rising around, that would have been badass. And we've also taken the liberty of making a WrestleMania main event change. Because we definitely need to make sure that we have a winner. And right now, 75% of you all are saying the same thing I'm saying, that the Demon goes over tonight. Again, with the title not on the line, and Dom is that good that it doesn't matter. He can lose and it won't. He's kind of got that Miz thing going on. You can lose and it doesn't matter. You're still that guy. This match will end when one of them sets their opponent on fire. Backed into the ropes, getting a little too close to the heat now as the Demon. Dirty Dom stomping down on the chest of the Demon. Up kick right to the head, and now Dom with the drop kick, down he goes. As time goes by, these flames will continue to rise. Not to mention it's an outdoor stadium, so what better place to have done a match like this where you have no fire suppression concerns. As we have a pause in the action, the Demon taking advantage of that moment to throw a steel chair into the ring. It's all legal in this one. Dom with a springboard crossbody, and boy, that got things heated up. Moonsault. Dirty Dom in control right now. Went for the suplex. He's going to go for the Three Amigos. Almost landed him completely on that chair. And another springboard, and that one connecting. The Demon receiving the punishment in this one. Dom trying to walk him over. Gets him into the corner. The Demon fighting his way out. Irish whip to the ropes, back out front. Oh, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. It looked like Hurricane Rana, and he missed. Code breaker, and down goes Dom. Things are heating up here in Vegas. Running drop kick to the chest sends the Mega Champion across the ring. And again, titles are not on the line in this one. This is about pride. Two of the longest lasting members of the Judgment Day battling it out now. Dom with a steel chair now, and he is putting it to use. Can barely see the competitors through the flames at this point in time. Dom with a springboard, and he misses the target this time. Tried to dump him. Backstabber. Five-star frog splash, and that one connects. Once again, Mysterio with the steel chair, looking for somewhere to put it. Those flames now have engulfed the ring. Another moonsault, springboarding off the middle rope. Dom getting awfully close to those flames. And the Demon is paying the price. Mysterio fighting his way. For the moment. Nice sling blade right there, and now the Demon's starting to take over again. Drop kicks. Mysterio across the ring. Can he get it done? Coup de grace. Now he's just got to put him out. Mysterio is laid out, and with that heat, it is hard to get air into your lungs. The Demon was about to come crashing down with that chair, but wasn't able to connect. Instead, Mysterio comes running into a back elbow. Irish whip. Mysterio to the ropes. Sling blade again. The Demon with the steel chair. Couldn't get the shot off. The hell Mysterio was thinking of, I have no idea. There was no one there to even attempt landing that move on. And now, trying to put him over the top rope, and he does! Mysterio is on fire! Dirty Dom is El Fuego! The Demon says medium well for me, please. I hate to say it, but 2K is pretty much hitting all the marks that the majority of us are having. This might be the most accurate 2K prediction in all time. Back with more in just a moment.
Welcome to the Nation Network, your home for all things pro wrestling. From classic video games to the latest releases, we dive deep into wrestling past and present. Step into the ring with Legends Mania, where dream matches come alive as legends clash with today's top stars. Join the conversation on WrestleChat, our podcast breaking down the biggest stories and hottest events in wrestling today.
Leave an island unto my own.
And don't miss the voice of Ultra Pro Wrestling, Vince McShane, right here on the Nation Network. This is the place where wrestling lives, breathes, and never sleeps. Hit subscribe and let's run wild together.
All right. In my opinion, this is our co-feature main event. One of the most talked about, highly anticipated matches of the weekend. It's the past meets the present, or the present meets the future, however you want to look at it. Brock Lesnar has for over a decade been the dominant force in the WWE. Many have come along to challenge that. Names like Hulk Hogan, names like Goldberg, and they have all failed. It was on this very stage that Brock Lesnar did what no one else could do and ended the streak of The Undertaker. And now, on the horizon, is a new face who has come to challenge the King of the Mountain. Does the Beast Incarnate have what it takes to get past Obafemi tonight? We're gonna find out. And with that, the poll is open. I am predicting that Obafemi is going to get the win tonight.
And his opponent from Lagos, Nigeria, weighing in at 310 pounds,
And early on, the poll is split 50-50. They are scheduled, apparently, this match to be the opening match tonight, which I think is absolutely insane. If the concern is that the fans are going to be too worn out at the end of the night, maybe it's because you've been given too much with 2 nights in a row, plus Friday Night SmackDown, Monday Night Raw. It's a 4-day event, plus that Hall of Fame that was god-awful. Early on in the match, Lesnar getting out the blocks quickly, taking the fight to Obafemi. The wise man, Paul Heyman, in the corner of Brock Lesnar, the longtime advocate for the Beast Incarnate. The man who was in the corner the night Lesnar ended the streak. Obafemi with a jaw jacker that got the attention of Brock Lesnar. Lesnar kicking himself back out of that. Lesnar going to call it before the walk. He's going over. It could happen. If we want to talk about the what ifs and the whys, why would you put Lesnar over your up-and-coming superstar who's really starting to gain a lot of momentum? Realistically, you wouldn't. I can't imagine that. And Lesnar's been really cool about paying it back lately. I mean, he knows he's there for a paycheck. He has no problem with it. And now he's giving back to guys that are coming up behind him. But why might you give him the win? Well, because we all know that a year from now, maybe even sooner, maybe it's SummerSlam actually, he's going to retire at the hands of Gunther. And his value in that match goes up if he beats Obafemi. And it doesn't kill Oba because you are young and you're an upcoming talent and you just went in there with a former UFC World Heavyweight Champion. And you had a great showing, but you didn't quite, but you took something from this loss that's going to make you a completely unstoppable force moving forward. So they could do that. And then, because think about this, Lesnar losing to Oba and then going after Gunther. Shit. Well, that could happen, I guess. I think Gunther or Lesnar's value is better for the Gunther match if he comes off a Mania win. Because if he does lose like he did here, then it's another Old Yeller storyline, which that can work too. But I think if you're trying to sell out, especially you keep on doing these 2-night events, I think him winning here does better. But I am predicting, alongside 2K, that Obafemi will be victorious in their meeting tonight. However, 67% of you are going with Brock. So this is one of the few matches where I can honestly say I'm not so sure. I feel relatively confident, but I'm not that sure. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, it will be the main event. Stay with us. Wrestling fans, make sure you join us on Saturday mornings right here for Saturday Morning Superstars of Wrestling. All of the greats from the past will be right here on Saturday mornings here on the Nation Network. Names like Rowdy Roddy Piper, Bruno Sammartino, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the Magnificent Morocco, and many, many more. All the action right here on the Nation Network Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you gonna do when the legends of wrestling run wild on you? All right, we've tweaked the main event just a little bit.
Is a special referee match and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
We have to get it right. We need a referee who can maintain order. Or interject himself into the main event, because that's what he does. All right, the poll is live. Who do you got tonight in the main event? CM Punk or Roman Reigns? Myself, I'm going to go with CM Punk winning, because I think he's going to be the guy that's sticking around, and I think Roman is doing the Hollywood thing.
Please welcome the special referee for this match,
And also, I think Punk gets more out of the win. Roman's done his thing. You know, he might come in and have like a one-off match like Rock did with Cena way back in the day when they had those 2 matches in 2 years. And for that one night, win the world title and then drop it like 30 days later. So he might still have a title win in him down the line. I don't see it being tonight. I love the fact that they put him in the referee gear and keep on the elbow pads. Crowd not really excited to see Dwayne here in Vegas. I am sure there is still a bitter taste left behind after the whole Travis Scott fiasco. Did we say bitter taste left behind?
That's what she said.
The Rock, once known as the People's Champion, now sits on the board of directors. Never met a spotlight he didn't like. If you're CM Punk, how do you get a fair shake in a match like this? The man challenging for your title, the referee is directly in his bloodline. Well, originally, you may be right. Wouldn't be the first time. Many times we have seen Roman Reigns make this long walk down the aisle to main event WrestleMania, but the difference this time around is he does so alone. No wise men, no cousins, other than the bloodline in the ring wearing the official's jersey. That'll raise the question, I would say, can The Rock remain impartial during this match? Or is the fix in? Is Roman going to indeed have help here tonight? Thus far on the poll, 60% of you are going with CM Punk. I am going to lean towards CM Punk because I don't think Roman's coming back to a full schedule. And I don't imagine they want to put the title on people that don't do full schedules at this point. It does not help any part of their business plan. It's hard to get advertisers when no one's watching your product because your champion is AOL. Or AWOL. AOL. You've got mail. The tribal chief, the head of the table, making the annual pilgrimage to WrestleMania. Programming update, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, Monday, we will do this again at 5 p.m. Check that. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. And we are going to recap night 2. And we have a very special update on the Nation Network. We encourage you to be there if you can, or catch it on demand. As we take a look at CM Punk, the Second City Saint, making his entrance as 50,000 sing him to the ring. Miracle says Punk is taking it. And we are now at a 50-50 split in the poll. My vote would go to Punk, which would make it a 60-40 advantage for Punk in the poll. This is what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. Our main event.
Weighing in at 265 pounds, the OTC, Roman And his opponent from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 218
The look on the face of the champion.
Heavyweight champion, CM Punk.
Punk reluctantly handing the title to The Rock. Will we have a fairly officiated match? CM Punk's got to be asking himself right now, I know I'm going up against the OTC, but am I also going up against the ROCK? Here's a 2 count early on. Punk and Roman locking up. Oh, down goes The Rock. Punk just shoved Roman Reigns into the referee, and down goes The Rock. And with no official present for the moment, these guys can pretty much do what they want. Rock going down for the cover, but it took him a minute. He got drilled. Roman Reigns was the one who did the damage, but he was pushed into him. And there's a reversal. And he says he got to the ropes. I don't know. That was questionable. And now The Rock trying to get these guys to settle down. This is the main event of WrestleMania. There is no settling down. Punk is up and driven into the mat. Roman Reigns is down. CM Punk wants him back on his feet. Punk from the apron. Springboard, clothesline, and down goes the Tribal Chief. Looked like Punk might have been going for the devil's kiss there for a moment. There's a thought. Inverted atomic knee drop. And now the challenger thrown into the turnbuckle. Here's the roll up. Roman. 1 count. CM Punk was in the ropes that time. Referee did not call that one. CM Punk comes up with another clothesline, and down goes Roman Reigns. The champion now starting to take over. Running knee smash into the corner he goes. Roman going to the middle rope and dropping the elbow. Superman punch connects and the champion is down. This could be all she wrote. The spear. Spent a lot of time pulling him away from the ropes. Here comes the count of 1. There's 2. And CM Punk manages to get the shoulder up. Roman Reigns can't believe it. The word that you want to hear with an official is consistency, and thus far, I feel like we've seen consistency. And now Punk charging in, nobody home. And now he's got Roman Reigns with a suplex. Irish whip to the ropes, back out front. Caught him with a drop kick coming off the ropes, and Roman's head snapping back on that one. Rock had to try and get in position to see the shoulders, and that was enough time for Roman Reigns to kick out. Once again, CM Punk luring the challenger up, and he bought it. Punk thought he had him, and Roman led him right to the slaughter. Reigns has him up in the air. Could be a power bomb. Indeed, as he drives the champion, sticks him into the mat. Roman Reigns with one hand slams the champion. Irish whip reversal. And now Reigns is sent crashing. The Rock telling these guys to bring it back in the ring. Punk is on the guardrail, comes jumping down and misses. Again, Rock trying to get them to bring the action back inside the squared circle. Nobody wants a count out. Punk with the Bulldog. Roman Reigns now. Oh, watch out. Watch out. Submission hold is on. And Roman says he got to the ropes. Hard to tell from this angle. Punk came charging in, almost took out the referee. Rock was checking on Roman Reigns to see. Here's a cover. Here's a count. What happened at 3? Was he cursed? And now The Rock with a float over DDT on Roman Reigns. Busted him wide open, and now Punk coming in. Reigns is groggy. Here comes the Bulldog. And The Rock with a clothesline. Roman Reigns never saw it coming. And now the back body drop. Roman finds himself fighting off not one, but 2 opponents. Punk with a clothesline again, and now he's feeling it. Charges up, there's that knee right to the head of Roman Reigns. Continues to ring the bell of Roman. Punk waiting for him to get back up to his feet. Roman Reigns has been sandbagged. And again, The Rock attacking his own flesh and blood. What is going on here? GTS on the floor. Just beating the count back in. Punk brings him back up to his feet. Roman Reigns is a bloody mess. Reigns has been pulverized at this point in time. What has gone through the mind of The Rock? He's got him up. CM Punk, GTS. He kicked out on 2. Rock has him up. Rock bottom. Punk with a cover, and it's all over. What just happened? We take a look at that. Should have been a 3 count for Roman Reigns right there, and Rock failing to bring the hand down for the count of 3. What made him do this? We don't know. Look at this. Rock bottom. Punk wasting no time at all. And a fast count to boot. I don't think that would have mattered. The poll is 50-50. I am voting for CM Punk to get the win here tonight, making it 60-40 prediction time. The Rock is a no-good SOB. All right, well, this is what I would be booking tonight. The referee rating is abysmal. It all depends on how you look at it. Well, we never got a Rock Roman match. So I would have had Rock book himself as the referee, which of course makes everything look bad for CM Punk. And then I would have had him. Maybe that was not a planned spot where I got knocked out there, but it was perfect because Roman basically ran through me, even though Punk pushed him into me. And now all of a sudden it's like, you son of a bitch. And then you cost him the match, and now it's like, you know what? We never did settle this, did we? And at Backlash, we're gonna. Or maybe you're even setting up for SummerSlam. But this gives you the match opportunity that we never did get because timing just never clicked. And we can get a decent Roman Rock match, assuming Rock still has anything left in the tank. I don't know that he does. But that would do a little, make this match a little spicier and have a good upside on the other side. That's how I see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all stages, thank you for being here today as we have our Day 2 prediction now officially in the books. Let's take a look at the polls once again, shall we? For the Intercontinental title, we are going by consensus with Javon Evans to be the new Intercontinental Champion. We are picking by slim majority Jade over Mommy in the women's match. Overwhelming majority Demon over Dom Mysterio. And I'm trying to remember where I landed. I think I went with Obafemi for the win, but the majority of us are going with Brock Lesnar. So we got a 67-33 pick on that. Most of you going for Brock Lesnar. I'm a little surprised about that. We'll see, but I'm going with Obafemi, even though I see the value in Brock winning. And the more I think about it, the more I think he's going to win. I'm going to stick with Oba. Probably going to get it wrong. And then in our main event, it was a 50-50 split. I'm going to break the tie by voting for CM Punk to make it a 60-40 narrow margin, choosing CM Punk to go over here tonight in night number 2, WrestleMania. Again, tomorrow, 3 o'clock, we're going to have a recap of night 2 and a very special update on the channel. If you have not seen Saturday's programs for the WWF and the 605 show, and if you normally do watch those, try to watch them before tomorrow's show, because there's going to be spoilers otherwise, and I don't like spoiling things, but at the same time, there's stuff that happens that I've got to share with you guys and have a conversation around that. All right, in the meantime, folks, have a great rest of your day. Stay out of trouble if you can. Of course, what's the fun in that, right? What's the fun in doing that? And as I always tell you guys, it's so important to remember.
Bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle. Goodbye.